And I do just want to say this. If you too are or have been a victim of such abuse, for whatever it's worth, know that I see you and I hear you, and I encourage you to be courageous. No more darkness. Victims of the cruel and powerful deserve a voice. Truth is the sword that slays the monsters, so let there be truth. Free speech matters.
What's on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and it appears that the other shoe has dropped, so to speak, against Steven Crowder. Again, full disclosure, I am friendly with Steven Crowder. I am not paid by him. I don't get money from him. I don't get considerations from him. I've never even been on his show. Or I think maybe once. Okay, so yes, I have a somewhat friendly relationship with him, but it's not like he's my guy or something like that, right? But I have sided with him in the past before. So just full disclosure for that. Last week, we reported on several things. Obviously, the big drama was just a PR campaign against him to cost him money in the divorce proceedings, which I don't know how that worked out. There's some rumor going around the internet they finally finished mediation. I don't know. It's not like I talked to Steven Crowder about his divorce. If I hung out with him, that would be the last thing I would ask him about, just like any guy. But deep in there were some ominous claims from a former employee who worked there 5 years ago and claimed that Steven had an unfair NDA and a non-disparagement, non-compete clause or disclosure that was basically ruining his life. That was the claim, okay? Now, people get triggered who are on Jared's side here when I mention this, but it is the facts. Jared Monroe willingly signed that paperwork. There are people that have left Louder with Crowder that did not sign that paperwork. I'm pretty sure that Dave Landau did not sign that paperwork. And there are other people that have come and gone. Is the work environment toxic at Crowder Studios? I don't know. I'm not here to say it isn't because I wasn't there. Did Jared Monroe have a hard time there? I don't know. I wasn't there. Okay, so I can't disprove these things. All I can look at is what is out there in the public. To me, if I had left a job 5-6 years ago, I probably would have moved on by now. Jared is alleging that, Crowder's not letting him get a job anywhere and all this kind of stuff. Well, he's going to have his chance to prove that now. I said that in my original coverage, okay? Now the lawsuit has been filed and the final form of this crowdfunding is there. I wish that I would have been able to give advice to Jared about this, because if he really is in financial ruin, I have no reason to doubt he's lying about that. If he really is in all this trouble, he just raised $100,000 that he could have used to start his own show or start his own career or start his own this, that, or the other thing. Now, he claims the NDA prevents that. I don't believe that. Also, well, because literally everyone else that's left Crowder has done shows. Dave Landau does a show. Quarterback Garrett does a show. So I don't necessarily believe that for whatever reason, Not Gay Jared can't do a show. Instead, now whoever this lawyer is just going to take all his money. That's what happens. It's like when people get wise, sage advice from my realtor on my last house who had been divorced 3 times. Told me one day, if you get divorced, do it yourself. The only people that get paid, like do the paperwork yourself, try to do it, because the only people that get paid in that are lawyers. And that's not untrue. So now the $100,000 that Jared could have used to get, back on his feet is now going to go to whoever this lawyer is. Matt, don't really care. Conservative media superstar has filed an illegal lawsuit to enforce illegal contract clauses against Jared Monroe. The NLRB charges were likely filed against Louder with Crowder LLC in Atlanta, seeking to halt this activity. You have the NLRB Edge, a Matt Bruning publication. Isn't that funny? He talks about himself in the post. Okay, anyway, let's take a look. Let's be fair. Okay, so again, if Steven Crowder really is forbidding Jared Monroe to get another job anywhere in the similar space, I disagree with that. All right, so we all understand. So, we agree, so everyone is on the same page. I 100% disagree with that. Let the guy get a job. It's been 5 years. I don't believe that's the case, but now we'll know. Now we'll know. And if that is the case in the court documents, and then it shows that Steven Crowder has ruthlessly been refusing to let this guy get a job in the space, I will make another video and I will criticize that harshly. For many years, Steven Crowder has been one of the most popular and affluent online conservative media personalities in the country. His YouTube channel has 6 million subscribers. His videos regularly attract hundreds of thousands, even millions of views. So, okay, so what? In 2018, Crowder's producer, Jared Metello, a.k.a. Jared Monroe, quit his job along with his brother, Aaron Monroe, or Metello. As part of quitting his job, like many other workers in the country, Jared's had a separation agreement that contained confidentiality and non-disparagement clauses. The clause read as followed. By the way, didn't have to sign it. The only way that companies normally get you to be able to sign this crap is if they give you money. Here's a confidentiality. These seem pretty straightforward. As part of this agreement and additional material I introduced to the parties and entered into this agreement, employer and employee agree to keep the existence and terms of this agreement confidential and to not disclose its provisions to anyone except immediate family members, tax advisors, legal counsel, or as required by law. Any other further disclosure other than authorized herein shall be constitute a breach of this agreement. Seems fine. Non-disparagement. Employer and employee further agree not to take actions to make statements written or oral that would disparage or otherwise defame the goodwill or reputation of the other. By the way, this is both directions. In their business, customers, clients, members, managers. There's nothing wrong with these two agreements. Nothing. Okay, they're very simple, very clear to understand, and no problem. Now we get to the real reason the lawsuit, allegedly. Retaliatory legal actions. Now, 6 years later, Crowder through his company, Crowder LLC, has begun aggressively pursuing legal action against Jared. On October 27th, 2023, so for all these years that Jared said, oh, this is preventing me from getting a job and Crowder's using lawfare, apparently that was a lie. Apparently this is the only, on October 27th this year, is the first time that this has ever come up. I thought it was preventing him from getting jobs. Why aren't you using that example? Because that I would back. I will 100% back. I would speak out against if Crowder was really using this to prevent him from working. That's what I need to see, right? Not that Jared Monroe was working with his ex-wife to maximize her settlement from him and smear his name in the public, which is all the information that we've seen. On October 27, 2023, Louder with Crowder filed a Rule 202 petition in the Texas District asking the court to order Jared to provide documents to be deposed about things that he may have said to dozens of people about Louder with Crowder. What they're ignoring here is that it's because he was trying to meddle in Crowder's divorce and trying to get between Crowder and his children. That's why this was filed. It had nothing to do with him getting another job, from what I've seen. By the way, he didn't even have to do that. It expired, and they didn't go after him. On October 30th, 3 days later, attorneys for Louder with Crowder sent a cease and desist letter to Jared, instructing him immediately cease and desist from making any further disparaging statements, written or oral, about Louder with Crowder. Okay, nothing wrong with that. By the way, he signed a non-disparagement clause. This all makes Jared look weak to me. Makes him like he was. This is all happening. Let me be very clear. Obviously, this is my opinion, right? But that's what you're here for. This is all happening because Jared Monroe inserted himself into another man's divorce. I don't care if everything Hillary Crowder said about Steven Crowder is true or not. Jared is getting this because he inserted himself into it. That's why. By the way, I'll be talking about this live tonight at 5:30 Eastern on my Rumble channel, which will be linked in the description below. I'm so close to 200,000 followers. If you haven't followed me there, please do. Every night during the week, 5:30 Eastern. If you absolutely refuse to go on Rumble, then I still would hope that you tune in at Quartercast, which will also be linked. If you want to subscribe to that, we'll obviously have a lot to say tomorrow or tonight about all this. Now, on March 27th, 2024, attorneys for Louder with Crowder filed a complaint to the Texas District Court alleging that Jared breached his non-disparagement provision, which he did do. In the complaint, attorneys focused entirely on innocuous text messages between Jared and Crowder's ex-wife. You mean while how he was helping her run a negative PR campaign against him? Right? Then they bring up the security cam footage, but they leave out the part that Hillary deleted 2,000 hours of footage and also another, perhaps important 18 seconds of footage from that interaction, which maybe sparked the argument, Maybe she said something heinous to him to get him to say that. Now you see here, Crowder appears to be lashing out at Jared because he allegedly reached out to Hillary as a friend during the divorce process. Yes, everybody knows that. You tried to insert yourself between a man and his kids and slither up to his ex-wife because you're just friends. So he's smacking you around in court. I'm not surprised by that. I'd do it. If some of my ex-employee was like, what kind of dirt do you need on Jeremy so that you can take custody away from him? Are you joking? This is not the leg to stand on for the lawsuit. What happened to all they're preventing Jared from getting a job, give me money? Right? The problem with a lot of Ricardo's legal attack on Jared is that the confidentiality and non-disparagement causes that LWC relying on, they violate a section. I'm not a lawyer. Maybe that's true. Okay. And now Jared's got $100,000 to go to court and get these overturned. Right. But at no place here, at no place in this lawsuit do they provide any evidence that Steven Crowder prevented him from getting a job, which is what Jared Monroe said happened. He also said that's why you were giving him money. Is this an April Fool's joke? The whole situation is filled with people who aren't innocent. This looks terrible for Jared. He looks like a clown. And he's like, the whole point, the whole way he raised $91,000 is that he's been unable to get a job. Right? The fees to protect my family are this, that, and the other. This is all a lie, in my opinion. What is he even talking about? You know what? I hope he dissolves his NDA, and I hope it was worth it. Maybe he's got some serious information on Crowder, and he needs to get it out there. But he's going to blow through $100,000 in court, and probably that's not even enough. And it's probably not going to win. But that's the truth. We'll see what happens in court, and I will report accurately whether or not. I remain skeptical, but we shall see.